Hey Libra, welcome to your July 2023 weekly reading here. It's going to be a reading from July 17th until the 23rd. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump straight in. Be sure to also check your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. You may find additional messages in those readings. So let's take a look. Woo! Okay. Very interesting. Libra. Wow. Yeah. So there's definitely something here that is on the verge of completing. And I'm going to expand upon that here in a moment. But the world card here and the outcome in your situation or for the week is like basically there's something that is completing. It is coming to a close, some type of cycle closing here. And we'll see whatever the cycle is. But what I'm picking up right away, it's almost as if there's so much on your mind that and there's so many things that I feel like you're trying to process at this time that you're really having to, your advice here being the Palace of Swords. The Palace of Swords usually talks about like an environment type of energy. Like if you think about the King of Pentacles, he would be in the Palace of Coins type of environment. Does that make sense? With the Page of Pentacles, with the Knight of Pentacles. And so the Palace of Swords is your advice here. It's like finding an environment in which you can communicate and talk, because I almost get that there's something here that you're struggling with that is a burden for you at this time because you have the Ten of Wands in your current energy, right? Something's a burden. There's a lot of responsibilities also in your life that are, I think just it's a culmination of things to where it's like you're dealing with a lot. And the Hangman being here as the overall, the Hangman being here for the overall energy for the week is like where you're having to surrender and I kind of get here, Libra. This is kind of an intense read. I'm getting here that it's like you're having to like have faith to possibly like letting go and surrendering and seeing what happens here. But the Palace of Swords, as your advice, is to find an environment in which you can process your mind and your thoughts. Palace of Swords is also where we can express ourselves, speak. So, like I always say, like the Palace of Swords would be. I'll give you an example. Like it would be. I can't really come up with like an overall great example, but what I will say is that the Palace of Swords is one of those environments in which one can speak what's on their mind, speak to other people, listen to other people, and can sort of come to an understanding and figure out a newer way of understanding things here as well. Because that Five of Swords here in your future position is you putting your foot down, but it's also like you're realizing it's like you need to disconnect from certain things in your life, and it's around Venus things. It's around maybe things that you it could be around your relationships. It could be around relationships where there's no cooperation. It could be around certain types of values that you're carrying or values that you've taken on from other people that aren't your own. It's just a disconnection in general, and having to look elsewhere. And I think you are going elsewhere with this World card. You're following through on something here. It's just like you have to have faith with that Hangman and the Ten of Wands. So very interesting. Four Swords is in the position of something that you're unaware of here. Yeah, it's almost like I kind of get that you're contemplating too much, And I think there's a contrast of energy. Some of you're contemplating for too long, and others of you, it's like you need some time to contemplate, to meditate, to access your mind, to have clarity of thought. Because you're trying to expand outwardly, you know? You're trying to expand outwardly. And the thing with Cancer season, as we're kind of finishing this last week as this reading, is like Cancer likes the familiar. You know, when it steps outside of its immediate environment, Cancer doesn't, it's uncomfortable. Cancer becomes uncomfortable. There's a reason why Cancer is comfort. And it's almost as if maybe you're realizing like you've been too comfortable with a certain way of things, but you realize it's like you're realizing like, okay, like, but it needs to change though. Like, so I have to get uncomfortable, right? Does that make sense? Like if you're struggling, but it's like you kind of just have that's just become like your life of just like this everyday struggle. Well, it's not that you're comfortable with it, but it's like you become used to it, and that becomes like your new norm in a way. And sometimes like it takes us putting our foot down with the Five of Swords and being like, you know what, no, I'm going to disconnect from this way of living and this way of life, and I am going to pursue a different route. And although it's maybe unfamiliar, uncomfortable, scary, you're willing to let go and see what's there with that Hangman. Woo! Libra. You have this Gemini card. It says, I think, here. Gemini deals with inventiveness, but also communication, right? Gemini deals with relation, the way we communicate, but also like Gemini deals with friendship. It deals with establishment of relationships and our ability to be able to communicate with other people and then understand other people as well. So there's something about this archetype that's really coming through, because even in your challenge, it's the Ten of Swords, which is Sun in Gemini. So for some of you, you may be in a position right now to where it's like you're wanting to release something in your life. It can be, we have to clarify and get into it, but right now we're talking very general. Whatever it is that you're trying to release, I think you're realizing maybe you've outgrown something and it's time to look elsewhere. And so by being open to newer things, I feel newer opportunities will present themselves. It's just whether or not you take them. You have this Garden of Venus, rest and renewal here. Some of you, I feel like it's like you're burnt out a little bit. And you may need some time to rest, kind of come back to the self here and kind of reorientate yourself. Because as well, I would say that you need some type of reinvigoration, because air is invigorating, it's stimulating. And sometimes it's like we can be so burnt out and exhausted, or we just find ourselves in this hamster wheel to where, our minds are going 100 miles an hour. And it kind of just feels like the same type of consistent energy. And so sometimes like rest to reinvigorate yourself definitely could help. So let's jump more into this. God, this is like the perfect deck. Like, I've had this deck forever and it's my favorite one. It's the Tarot Illuminati deck. But it's like, this one's different. I have two of them. One's that the quality's different, but there's something about this one that's just perfect. It's pretty worn out. Not worn out, but it's been used a lot. But it's like my favorite deck ever. Clarify this Hangman, Two of Swords. Some of you, your moon may be in Libra, or you may have moon conjunct Neptune. If not, don't worry about it. But your overall energy here for the week is you need some time to reflect inwardly, to process things and figure out what's going to be the right thing for you here. Because right now, the way you've been doing things is like you got to find another way. Because if you keep going the way you're going, it's like you're just going to keep piling up this stress and burden that you've been carrying. Page of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands is your current energy. Well, I see here that it's like, you have responsibilities, right? Ten of Wands is the burden of responsibility in our lives. Like, for instance, I do videos every day. It's the responsibility, right? So let's just say you work a job 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and that's your burden of responsibility, right? Because you need to pay rent, you need to pay bills, you need to be able to live and thrive or survive, whatever. And so that's like Ten of Wands energy. It's where we have these responsibilities in our life that we commit ourselves to regardless. And sometimes in life we can take on too much, or we can find ourselves like where everything is really starting to kind of drain us. And so we need to take time out to, have some renewal energy, rest energy, The Sun card and the Ten of Swords is your challenge here. I think this is about figuring out like where is it in your life that you don't feel happy. I'm gonna be real. The Sun card deals with your soul, yourself, and the challenge is like you're not aware of it because you haven't had time to really think and process. Now, for some of you, this may not resonate. Maybe you do a lot of this, but I'm just keeping it real with you in the reading. Right? I'm an archetypal tarot reader. This is the way I read. I don't know how I don't know how everybody else reads. Right? I don't say that you're not in shining armors coming every week. It's just not real. So yeah, let's keep it going. But I think right now it's like you're trying to figure out let's see, hold on. Queen of Swords, Five of Swords here. I think you're going to be making some tough decisions in the future. Not like scary tough decisions, but it's like you're getting real with yourself and understanding where have I been overextending my energy in situations, and where is it that I know that I deserve more. Right, because five of Swords, Venus and Aquarius energy can just take on really a culmination of things, but has a hard time. The detriment of it, even though it's not in detriment in Aquarius, but the detriment, or I would say the shadow side of Venus and Aquarius is, what do I like though? Like, because I have all these things, I'm open to all these things, but what is it for me personally? Where I need to start drawing the line and being like, all right, I don't need that in my life. I don't need that in my life. I don't need that in my life. I like this. I'm going to keep this. I like this. I'm going to keep this. I like this. I'm going to keep this. And you can do it in a very loving, very, very thorough way with the Queen of Swords, but it's about the inner reflection and the inner understanding of what you need in your life and what you don't need in your life. And it's about cutting the things out that you don't need. Five of Wands on the Four of Swords is in the position of something that you're unaware of here. I think what you're unaware of is like you're frustrated because you don't have enough time for yourself, or you feel like you're doing. No, I think it is that. I think it's like you don't have enough time for yourself, or you feel like you're not pursuing what really makes you happy. Like you're stuck in all these other things. Right, like let's just say you work a 9 to 5 and you just hate it, and it's a lifestyle that has just depleted you, and you realize at the end of the day you're like, you know what, like I deserve better. I want to change my lifestyle. I want to change things. Your advice here with it being the Palace of Swords is the Three of Wands here. So, I see some of you that like your advice, Palace of Swords, Three of Wands is like expanding your horizons through networking, through communication, through putting yourself in an environment or putting yourself in situations to where it's like you're you're wanting, it's like, for instance, like, let's just use this example. Like, let's say you're tired of your job. So the Palace of Swords will be like LinkedIn or something. Like, it deals with a network of communications to where you can interact and exchange and figure out, and find new opportunities and stuff like that. Like, that's just an example that I'm trying to give you here, to give you an understanding of what I'm talking about with this Palace of Swords. And the Three of Wands is like when we've already set forth motion with our plans, and so we're also looking for the feedback of that as well. So it's like, that's your advice, is like to find things, whether it's social media, whether it's the internet, whether it's going to a group, or whatever the case might be, that can help you move forward and expand your horizons. Seven of Swords in the World card is your outcome with the Judgment card. Yeah, I think you're going to have to really get honest with yourself and make a decision here that is best for you and yourself. And also, if there's other people in the mix, it's in regards to what's best for everybody that's involved. But I will say, I feel like you're coming up with a game plan, Nine of Cups, Seven of Swords, to make the judgment call and the necessary adjustments to enter into some sort of newer thing. So this has been a journey for you, but there's a completion here, and you entering into some sort of new paradigm. Yeah, you have this Courage card. So the sun is about to come into Leo, so that courageous, confident energy is coming. We got Mercury there, so our thought process is kind of there, but our beingness hasn't really caught up. Then you have this wife engagement. It says bride here. Now, some of you, this could be dealing with something with a relationship. But also, this is like, you can also be engaged hypothetically to certain things in your life, and you realize, I don't really want to do this anymore. So, let's just say you change careers, or you change the way you've committed yourself to doing things before. Interesting. You have this change at the bottom of the deck here. So yeah. So that's what I got for you, Libra. What a week. I can't wait till we come into Leo season. Like, for real. Like, goddamn. And I think a lot of this is in regards to your career, now that I'm thinking about it, because Cancer is your 10th house. But it's square you, Libra, right? Because it's cardinal energy. And so there's been a lot of strife in regards to the direction of your career, the direction of where it is that you're trying to go in your life, your goals, the things that you want to achieve, and ultimately the lifestyle that you want to live. With Mercury being in that 11th house of Leo. But anyways, that's what I got for you, Libra. If you want to book a personal reading with me, be sure to do so. They're on sale right now. I discounted them, and I'm going to leave that discount up probably for the rest of the month. I know Venus is coming retrograde on the 23rd, so I've been telling people, if you want to book, now's the time to do it with the discount, and you'll get a reading and understand energies and what's going on, especially as we come into this Venus retrograde. But otherwise than that, if you want to check that out, the link is in the description. Just click it. It'll take you straight there, tell you all the details. And otherwise than that, I'll see y'all later.